be live in a minute. We're live again. We're back.
Cool.
Apologies, everybody, because I have no idea what happened there. That's the first time that's happened. Hopefully, we're going to get people tuning back in, but it doesn't matter because they can come back and watch it at any other time anyway, because it's all there saved. So we don't need viewers just now. Steve, they'll start tuning in, hopefully.
Okay.
So, well, you know, like I said, if they don't, it will be there anyway to watch later. So where did we get up to before that technical hitch? Oh, the important news that the Motocross of Nations is coming made, hopefully, fingers crossed, back to the UK. So where are we at with that then? You just said you've had a load of phone calls today.
Yeah, so where we're at is, like I say, myself and the team, you know, all up for it. Suppliers are all up for it. We're just waiting on, you know, trying to get all the, you know, the permissions of South Downs National Park, Peveril. Yeah, and then we have to hand in the event management control, you know, which gets them sent to Winchester and the police and all that agree. But yeah, that side of it's okay. It's just trying to, you know, convince South Downs National Park and also Peveril about, you know, that it'll be safe, and you know, no one wants to take the risk of you know, bringing COVID to Winchester or stuff like that. That's what we're battling against at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's going to be a very, very different event than what it would be otherwise. So, you know, you have to play it day by day of what you can do, or are you just going for a set plan? As in spectators, how are you going to do that? Or are you just sort of, like I said, going to wait until hear what you can do?
No,
because there's no way you can have 60,000 people. You know, that's not going to happen in the grand scheme of things. It's just not.
No, I mean, you know, I don't think it would be in those numbers anyway, because, you know, because obviously there's a certain percentage, you know, won't want to travel, certain percentage won't come because of the Americans. And, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, we've all been sort of starting motocross here since, you know, March, and, you know, it'd be good to sort of have another big meeting there. So, I mean, we're all excited for it. And it was, it took me about half a second to say yes when they said, you know, would I be interested in hosting it? And, and that was the same last year when they said, you know, could I run it in March? I'm like, yeah, no worries. I mean, you know, weather in the UK, you never know when it's going to be good or bad. So if I just got to accept, you know, when the race is and, you know, deal with it. Yeah. So, I mean, at the moment we're, you know, going forward in, you know, all the planning, all the COVID stuff, all the risk assessments, you know, how we could run it, how, you know, just, you know, simple plans like, you know, using different fields for car parking. Then, you know, then on the ticket allocations, you know, let's just say, okay, tickets 1 to 1,000 go in at 7:30 in car park A. You know, car park B have tickets, you know, 1,000 to 2,000 and enter at, you know, 7:45, and all sorts of stuff like that, that, you know, can break up the flow of, you know, of entry into the arena. I mean, yeah, all of this planning goes, you know, without the, you know, knowledge of whether we can actually run the event yet. So that's why it's TBC. You know, we're doing all the background work as much as we can within the time limits and the parameters that we've been given. So we still
what are they? I know you possibly can't like say at this point exactly if there is a cutoff date or anything, but a rough timeline in your mind is when are you likely, do you think, to get the green light? If you do get it, because obviously they can't give you a green light 2 days before, so there has to be a rough cutoff point, even though if they haven't told you exactly.
You know, technically, to actually get stuff done and, you know, intimately, you know, I'd say 10 days beforehand. But, you know, all the teams need to know, the federations need to know. So, you know, soon, you know, we will have to come to a decision of, you know, it's not fair on teams and fans to wait any longer. I mean, you know, it was, dead and buried at France. So, now it's, we're just trying to keep it resurrected and, come up with ideas and, try not to lose the event, in 2020.
Yeah.
So that's the aim. And I mean, that's the aim with, with all sorts of race series going on in the UK and around Europe, and everyone's just trying to scrape together something to keep the industry going.
Yeah, totally. From a British point of view, you've obviously been the team manager as well. Another feather in your cap of many things that you've done. I know you've got to focus and run the event, but you also, I should imagine want the Brits to do well. So clearly, with the Americans, I mean, obviously they haven't done so well recently anyway, but previously we've done pretty good there. So from a British point of view, it could be, although they might not have all the crowds there and whatever, the home advantage might be good. We might be able to go a few more places up the podium.
Yeah, I mean, if it was me calling on it, I would obviously call Max back. He's a double winner. He owned that place in 2017. Even, it would be massive for his Hep Suzuki team to come across and race it. I think that could be done. And then again, it's down to Mark Chamberlain to choose between, Dean Wilson if he wants to come over, Tommy, Sean, Sterry, Ben, Conrad, those guys, and as soon as there's been no racing, it would just be a case of getting them all together and, putting them to the clock and putting them to the fitness test, really, because there wouldn't be many races before that either. So experience would come to play. But, I mean, the same situation, came about last year. There was rider got injured after injury and, ended up with, the Watson brothers. And we got on the podium third. It was a little bit lucky, but you need, sometimes you have bad luck and sometimes you need luck to get into those positions. And, those conditions played into Nathan's hands, and we had a good result. But
like you said, you're doing all you can to at least lay the event on. Andrew McKinstry, from Gate Drop has just popped up, and I don't know if you can see the screen, Steve. I think you can. But anyway, I'll read the question out for everybody as well. So Andy from Gate Drop has said, if the MX event can't be run, and hopefully it can, is it possible a normal GP could be run on the date instead, as opposed to having nothing at all?
What GP?
So basically, if the MX of Nations can't run, has there been discussions of maybe using that date to just have a regular another GP and call it the GP of whatever, England or
I don't know. I mean, they'd already sort of sidelined it with the GP of Winchester and the MX of Nations, so they were going to have I don't know how they were going to do it, incorporate sort of points into the nations. So it was called the GP of Winchester as well.
Okay.
So, I mean,
that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, again, in France doing all they can to save, the calendar. There's a lot of people, I've had sort of people ring me up saying, they've lost their job in Italy and, is there any mechanic jobs because, their teams sort of folded and stuff like that. So, it's a, motorcycling sport and car racing sport is a huge, industry. And, as well as shops and everything, we all need to keep the wheels turning. And, and that's important for, everyone's livelihood.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean, it is our industry, isn't it? Exactly. No different than anything else. So at this stage, I mean, that's some real good info there. It's because everybody got so excited when the news come out, but as you've just said, you're working towards it. That's now what you're trying to do, and yourself and in front and whatever. But that's not to say at this point that it's definitely going to happen. There's still so many things.
I did make sure that that in front put TBC on it, and as you saw on the calendar, it says that. Yeah, purely because I was not jumping the gun, because there was, it was either say no at that time so that it could be announced no MXON, or try and give it as much chance as we could. And yeah, that's where we're at. We're, and the amount of emails that we've had, sort of volunteers and stuff like that, has been amazing. All that. I mean, Jason Foyle, who does all the starts, start gates, he's already wrote out all the risk assessments for doing the start gates and stuff like that. So I mean, everyone's mad into it, and for marshals and all sorts. So
well, you get right on cue, Steve. Right on cue. You're gaining some fans here with what you're doing, laying on the British GP year after year. John Deeprose has just come up and said, if you have a GP next year, and I'm sure you will, I would like to give you a hand for a week to help. See, so there you are, right on cue. He, just as you're saying it, proving that people are right behind what you're trying to do at Matterley.
It's been massive, and it's good fun, doing this sort of stuff. And and it's good when people see the background of it and get involved. Be better if it was afterwards, when they're picking up the rubbish. Even just picking out the pegs. There's 800 pegs to pick out of the track, and wash them. It takes me a week to wash all the pegs. I just basically put them all in a big tub and then let them soak. Well, actually, we've got a girl working.
Bloody hell!
She comes once. There's a girl from Portsmouth Club. She comes once a week now, work experience. She wants to be a mechanic, and so she spent 3 days cleaning them, but I spent sort of 5 days cleaning them. all the marshal flags, everything has to be washed. There's a huge amount afterwards, as before.
Well, she's learning a lot about it. I mean, it's like being an apprentice footballer and having to clean football boots, I suppose. You got to start at the bottom and work your way up. So that's the MX of Nation potentially this year covered. We're obviously going back to racing proper soon, with EMX for you or MX2. Where are you at with that? Because obviously you've got an injured rider, or you had an injured rider.
So in Valkenswaard. So on one hand, we're leading the Women's World Championship with Courtney. We had 2 races, and she won one and finished 4th. So she's leading that. And their next one is supposedly Turkey. But then Wilson, someone went off course on the start of Valkenswaard, took him down, went into him, broke his finger, smashed it all to pieces. That got fixed up in Holland. And then a week later, we had to get it done again, because it turned out, the job wasn't done correctly. But no disrespect to the hospital in Holland, they had to deal with the trauma, and his hand was completely smashed. So seeing the hand a week later and then finding out that one part wasn't pinned correctly, I don't lay any blame with the hospital who initially did the trauma. So we had that fixed up, and then also at the same time that his leg got all swelled up, and they took an X-ray there and couldn't see anything, but anyway, it turned out that he'd done his ACL, so he went to get the operation here. They couldn't do operation because of COVID. Hospitals were sort of starting to refuse, doing any operations. So then we had to get him back to Australia. Then he had to quarantine for 2 weeks, and then they weren't doing operations for another sort of month because of COVID. So he will be back next month and start rehabilitating, on a bike. He's doing great at the moment with, all sorts of exercises, mountain biking and swimming and, general playing around. And that's all going well. So we won't be at Latvia. The first one will be probably again Turkey.
Right.
So we're looking forward to that and getting back racing. And again, it's
that's right. Gives you a bit more time to potentially do the Motocross of Nations.
Well,
I know you'd rather be racing. That was a joke. I know you'd definitely rather be out there racing. So,
but this whole period, obviously, a lot of sponsors have had to sort of, delay their payments, not been able to pay until we start racing again, or till they find out how their business is doing. So for the first week, 2 weeks, it was a case of right, okay, let's do bits to the truck that we wanted to do, take advantage of the weather and do all that sort of stuff. And then it was a case of right, okay, things are not getting good. So yeah, we've been doing a lot of private work and suspension and engines, and that's been quite enjoyable. It's back to my roots, and sort of speaking with people, that's been good, like just normal customers, and everything that sort of goes on at that sort of lower level. And then also I got a track together, Ramsden, together with
I saw that. Yeah, I was speaking to Justin about that as well. Yeah, so that's right on your doorstep as well for a bit of training for the lads right there.
Yeah, that's right. So last year Tom T and Craig Dappin, who are both from Portsmouth Club, they came to me and said, look, the lease is up, we don't want to carry on with it like without someone else. So I said, look, I'll come in, and we're running it together. We got Justin up there, and then we're going to we've run some private hire days, and the main thing is really to have a place to go to and train. And Justin's done a good job of it. It looks totally revamped, and just
keep I saw the video, keep Jordan away from there, keep him in the workshop. He's not very good on a motocross circuit, even on his feet, let alone on a bike.
No. He's actually had a few goes up there, and he rode the 450. He loved that. So yeah, but for the water jump, he's no good. No.
No, he come up way short. Andrew,
sucker for trying it.
yeah, I can't believe he went for it. Andy from Click 466 has just come up here.
They're local.
Asking a question about the riders. He goes, we see standing riders step in once in a while, but I guess for the short term and the way the season is, there's no real benefit. Is there any benefit in putting somebody else on the bike until Wilson returns?
No, because the budget's sort of there, and we we continue to pay the riders while they're injured and out convalescing, whether it was Darien and stuff like that. So to do that and get another rider in, and to get another rider in, you have to spend a lot to get them up to sort of speed. It's not like there's any top riders hanging around, and other than that, it's sort of it's sort of not worthless. I mean, we've done our bit in the past to help sort of young riders. I took Billy from 14 to winning his first GP, Carl Nunn from 16 to winning his first GP, and Martin Barr and all of that sort of stuff. And we would love to get another British riders. We like working with British riders.
Yeah.
And we've always got our eye open.
But certainly the younger riders, that takes in this day and age even more investment, doesn't it? And it's a long-term project.
Yeah, it's difficult because when you're at 20 Grand Prix, you can't be at home and do a good job on a British Championship rider.
No.
The likes of yourself and Rob Hooper and those sort of guys that are bringing up riders. I tried to help this year by getting Taylor Hamill into the British GP because he's local, and he had his sort of taste of doing a GP, which was good for him, good for his sponsors, and I'll do what I can to help people. Yeah.
Talking of the British Championship, I mean that's an issue. I mean, back in the day, obviously when you started running a race team, we didn't have so many GPs, and it was still a long season, but it was a bit. Now 20 GPs. Do you ever still sit at home or back in the workshop thinking, I wish we could race the British Championship? But obviously it's so difficult to do both.
Yeah, we'll race. We enjoyed racing the British Championship with Max in 2015, and with Tommy in 2016 when he won it. I mean, I think if you have a British rider, he wants to do the British Championship. That's great. But if you have let's say a foreign rider that doesn't want to do the British Championship, that's it's difficult with a motocross rider. They don't perform if they don't want to perform. So then you're just risking injury, and trying to make people do something they don't want to do, and they're forever thinking, oh well, the guys abroad are not racing, and I've got to come back and I've got to race. But for the British rider, he enjoys it, and like with Max, we said, like, the week it's the British Championship, don't practice, just use this as as practice. And that's why we used to sort of turn up on a Sunday morning, do the race, and come home. It was okay. This is just a practice day. That's no disrespect to British.
No, not at all. I get that.
It's just that, right, if we're going to do it, we just need to minimize the sort of amount of time that we're there, and just go there, enjoy it, and come away. And and it's great speaking to all the fans, speaking to all the the people that come up to you, and that's enjoyable. And but we still then got to go on a Monday off to a GP or something, so it's so it's difficult.
I think most fans would be happy just to have you guys there. I don't think they're overly worried about the big draw or anything anymore and stuff like that. Just to have one of your riders there. Apologies, by the way, people watching, but I'm getting a few technical issues tonight, as we've already had to see. We've had to do a second version of this, and I'm getting all kinds of issues with the speaker, which I've never had before, microphone. But sorry about that, people. Hopefully, for episode 5, we'll be back on track. Typical, the one person I want to get on and talk loads about and whatever, and then we get technical issues. But there we go. So basically, it's just still flat out as ever, really. Then we're going to wait and see what happens with the nations. I got no doubt at all that things are already progressing in regards of 2021, regards of organising a GP, where you're at with the team. I know you can't tell us stuff because that's how the industry works. But I'm sure you're already in conversations regards of both the GP and team lineups and stuff. So I should be interested to see a new KX 250 coming out to work with as well.
I mean, we've been fortunate enough. Well, we only had 2 races, but we were fortunate enough to be able to use the the 450 chassis, which was fantastic. And that's obviously production in the 250 in 21. So really looking forward to that bike. I think it's going to be I know it's going to be a good seller. I've already had so many people ring me up about it. Have I seen it, and blah blah blah. So I think they have 2 good models. I mean, there's not a bad bike out there from any manufacturer nowadays. So it's it just comes down to the rider now. I mean, and the team that's supporting them. I think it's a good, for us, it's good to have a high level base now to start work with, and we're looking forward to when the bikes arrive.
You'll be. I know. I just know what you like. You'll be at that workshop to God knows what time, machining, tinkering. Can't help yourself, can you? But long may it continue. I'll tell you what, I'm going to sign off there because even I'm getting pissed off with the microphone, and I've already taken up an hour more of your busy time. I'm going to sign off. We're going to sign off with this lovely comment from Chris Lee, who's just tuned in. So here you go, Steve. I know you're a modest man, so I'm going to do it for you. He has just come in with this quote. Let's face it, Steve Dixon is a true MX hero. Whatever you can get sorted, Steve, those of us who have at least seen some understanding of how it works and will always support you. Keep it up, mate. There you go. So you're doing the right thing, Steve. And God knows where we'd be in British motocross regards to the last 10 years without a British GP and all these other things. So fair play to you. Long may it continue, and long may those cogs in your head keep well oiled.
They'll go all the way till I'm in the box.
See, that was a perfect opportunity to mention Silkline as your major new oil sponsor, but I'll do it for you. Steve, I'll let you spend some time with your family and your son. Say hi to Bradley for me, and I no doubt I'll see you soon. And all the best. And I hope it goes off for the Motocross of Nations. Even if I was allowed to come along, I can't because my best mate has decided to go and get married on that date. So I'll be doing my best man speech.
Roger Warren came back,
Well, hold on. Let me. No, see, the trouble is he's getting married in Greece. So, and apparently
he came back from Barbados or somewhere. But then he's a true hardcore commentator. You know,
Exactly. I'm just a part-timer. I'm just, learning the trade. I'm a youngster just stepping in. So unfortunately, I won't be at that one. But listen, I'll let you crack on. You'll probably get off of this and start taking phone calls and doing all that, knowing you. But I'll let you go, and I'll see you, Steve, soon. So thanks for your time, Steve, and I'll catch up with you later. Bye. See ya. Bye. Right. Bye. So there goes Steve. He's off. Right, everybody. Roger's the man. Yes, Andrew. Yes, Andy. Rog is the man. He's going to have to be if that event goes off, because I won't be there to give him a hand, unfortunately. I mean, why would my best mate go and do that? Should have given him the calendar. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching and sticking with us through a few technical issues. I mean, the first 3 episodes we haven't had any issues like that, so I don't know what was going on tonight. But thanks for sticking around and watching the second part of the thing as well. Some interesting stuff in there from Steve, which no doubt we'll pull out and quote. And that's it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that the Motocross Nations will happen. It's not a dead cert yet, but hopefully it will happen at Matterley on the 27th of September. And maybe a lot of you guys will be able to go. Right, that's it. I'll be back in 2 weeks' time at 8 o'clock with another new guest. Don't know who that will be yet, but keep tuning in and logging into Dirt Hub to find out who that guest is going to be. And that's it. So let's just one more comment coming in. Let's just see who that is. Get your mate, Paul Lavender. Get your mate to dump his missus. Well, you would have thought, right, I should just put motocross first. But he has been my best mate for 30. Hold on, let's get this right. 34 years. Unfortunately, he's not going to dump his mate because he's buying into a bit of money, Paul. You know what I'm saying? Right, that's it. I'm out of here. I'm going to see you in 2 weeks. We'll announce the guest who it will be. Join me 2 weeks' time on here, and we'll get maybe 1 or 2 guests on next time. Right, everybody, have a great weekend. Stay safe. Do your thing. Cover your face if you've got to go out and all that stuff. And we'll be back in 2 weeks' time. I'm out of here. I'm going to end it now.